perché alle volte pure io mi...
Buon proseguimento, grazie. We are visiting the towns of Lamezia Terme, Pizzo and Tropea on this food journey in the south of Italy. This video is a collection of all my travels around the west coast of Calabria, covering the traditional Italian food. Let's begin. Buongiorno da Lamezia Terme, and the day today is so and so. A little bit cloudy, then a little bit sunny, but we are at our first place of the day, Maestri Fornai or the Master Bakers. And this will be my starting point for this day. We're gonna go first inside the bakery to see how some of these pastries are made, and then we're gonna start trying their product as well. So let's get inside. I'm inside the bakery where all the work is done, and the space is quite big and it's also quite clean, quite modernized. They have this huge steam oven in the back, but they also have a couple of machines to help them do the work faster and in bigger volume. So they have these traditional wooden racks for bread and pastry like I've seen in Trapani, but they are more modernized here. They have a machine where they put this huge dough, and then the machine is partitioning, it's shaping the dough. Then after that they have the second machine where they put these small pieces of dough and they get a proper shape on the other side. One of the guys is feeding the machine, the other two are taking the dough when it's ready and putting it in the tray, and then the tray goes onto this big rack that is already stacked with many of these pastries. Now, over there's also a huge pizza dough machine. I think this is probably the biggest pizza dough machine that I've seen so far, and I will definitely have to try their baker's pizza as well. Grazie. Since they have fresh pizza out of the oven, I got this slice of margherita to try. Hot, very nice and fresh baker's pizza, and the dough is very light, so light and also very crunchy. The tomato sauce is beautiful, a little bit sweet, almost no acidity at all, and then nice cheese on top. I got a loaf of bread from them as a gift, and the bread smells and looks incredible. This is obviously local bread, nice, dense, heavy loaf of bread, but I will have to leave this for later as I want to try some more of their pastries. So let's get in the shop now. Uno con pistacchio, uno con Nutella. Io comunista, io mangio tutto.
Pure io mangio tutto.
So I had to try some more pastries from the bakery, and luckily enough there's this small nice park here where I can sit and enjoy my food. And I got one savory pastry, and this is quite crunchy, quite crumbly on the outside, and then inside it's stuffed with pork. I think there's also some spicy mayo on top of this pastry. The lady, she warned me there's a pork inside, but I'm not afraid of any pork. So let's go with the first bite. I don't know how they make it, and probably this is some more modern invention, but it's absolutely crazy. It's so delicious. The pork inside is very juicy. Again, crunchy skin. Everything is so tasty. I got a couple of these sweet pastries as well, and the lady told me that one is stuffed with pistachio cream and the other one with Nutella. I don't know which is which because they look the same from the outside, but let's go with the first bite. perfectly crumbly texture, and then Nutella inside practically solidified, so it's like a solid chocolate. It's another very simple but very delicious local pastry. Let's go with a second biscuit. Again, very crumbly and very tasty. The pistachio cream inside is solid, very delicious, less sweet than Nutella one, but another great local cake. Very delicious breakfast, and I think I ate more than I planned, but also quite good experience witnessing how everything was done inside the bakery and then enjoying the end result, the product of these people's work. Now I need to get ready for lunchtime. Hopefully I'll get hungry in time, and then we're gonna continue where we stopped, enjoying some great local food. See you a bit later. Behind me is my lunch destination, a place called Amare. They specialize in seafood. Let's get inside. I got seated at Amare, and as I mentioned, this place specializes in seafood. It's very small but also very nice, very cozy local spot. And to access their menu, you need to use this wooden cube with QR code. And the menu consists, of course, of antipasti, of starters, then of primi and secondi piatti, the first and second dishes, the standard Italian way. They also have side dishes and salads, and they only have one type of dessert, and this is a lemon sorbet. So I will make my order, and I think I will go for some potato salad, some grilled tuna, some grilled vegetable, and if they have also a lemon sorbet in the end. But before my food is cooked and ready, I also got this small appetizer. This is bracciola con salmone. This is bracciola with salmon, has some spicy mayo on top. So let's try first this before my food arrives. As soon as I touched it with my fork, it broke apart. Let's try it. It's made of rice and then it was infused with salmon. It's quite delicious, quite tasty, a little bit spicy from this mayo. When you get a starter dish served like this, then you realize that you're at the right place. This is probably, I think, the best served, the best looking octopus salad that I've seen and tried so far. And this is the octopus and potato salad. Has this beautiful slice of lemon on top, some rucola around it, olive oil probably drizzled everywhere. Let's go with it. These people here, they know what they're doing. This is absolutely delicious. The octopus is perfect, perfectly cooked, perfectly seasoned. This olive oil that you can really taste. Potato is amazing as well. Very simple, but outstanding. The octopus texture is truly amazing. It's so soft, very easy to chew, no trouble there at all, but also has a bit of very pleasant chewiness, some mild spices used on it, and then the potato, also perfect. And then rucola, potato, this octopus, olive oil, very simple, but a true perfection. This salad was so good that I can't wait for the rest of the food to arrive. Alla salute. My grilled tuna steak is here, and this is one of those rare occasions when something in the picture looks smaller than in real life. This is a huge tuna steak. It smells absolutely delicious. It radiates with heat because it was just grilled, has that perfect caramelization on the surface. It has plenty of olive oil on top, some onion as a side, and some basilic oil as well as the side. Let's not lose any time here. Let's start. There are really no words to explain this. This is a pure perfection in a plate, but let's see how it tastes. It tastes as good as it looks, or probably even better. It's incredible, so juicy. The texture is perfect. You really enjoy chewing this, and then the taste is amazing as well. This has minimum things added to it, probably some salt, olive oil, but it's incredibly tasty. I suppose this is cipolla rossa from Tropea. So let's try it now with this red onion as well. Absolutely delicious, and it changes completely the taste of tuna because of its sweetness. It's caramelized onion, it's quite sweet, but it's also quite interesting. Let's try it now with this grilled zucchini. Beautiful grilled zucchini, very tasty, nice, juicy. It really complements nicely this tuna steak. Let's try it with the grilled eggplant. This is one of those places where when you come in, you really don't know what to expect, but then you get completely blown away with the quality of food, of how good it is prepared, how good and tasty it is. And it really makes you wonder, I mean, what they do to this food. I suppose the ingredients are very fresh, they're very good, both the seafood, the fish, the vegetable, but also the skills here, because it's always most difficult to prepare some food simply, to look simple, yet to be blown away with the taste and how delicious it is. A lunch as this one deserves a small dessert as well. Let's try this lemon sorbet. Nice and refreshing, has those fine particles of ice, but also very strong taste and flavor of lemon. Nice and light dessert. This lunch was so good, it was definitely beyond my expectations, and now I feel like eating some delicious local gelato. So let's go and get that ice cream. Behind me is Coneria Italiana, my gelato stop. The place looks quite interesting right away from the outside, has nice garden, has these 60s posters and probably some more 60s vibe inside. Once inside, the shop looks incredible. It's like time travel back into the 60s or even earlier than that. They have this beautiful old radio, but then also this antique bicycle with a huge front wheel. They have very cute posters on the wall, some interesting old style details. They also have this ancient cash register, and the whole shop looks like a fairy tale. They make the real gelato, the artisanal, but they also make artisanal cones. You can get the industrial one or the artisanal. And this girl, she's gonna show us how she's making the artisanal cones. She's using the batter, and then she's using these hot presses here. And then once she bakes this pastry long enough, and once it's ready, she's gonna use this wooden tool to make the shape of this perfect gelato cone. Oh, grazie. I got my cone right here. Now I need to choose gelato for myself.
This caramello. This arachide.
Wow. I got my gelato, and this is a proof that Italians are always number one when it comes to ice cream and gelato. It looks incredible, it even smells incredible, and it's made in this cone, artisanal cone that was just made for me a couple of minutes ago. I've chose two flavors. The first one is 1962 salted caramel, so obviously this is some old recipe, together with some arachide, with some peanuts, and I also got my favorite flavor, pistachio or pistachio ice cream gelato. Let's start. Gelato was falling off this cone, so I also got a cup to put part of the salted caramel in the cup. Gelato is so tasty, creamy, it's not too sweet. This is a perfect artisanal Italian gelato. Pistachio is just the way it should be. Salted caramel is delicious as well. I need to continue quick because it's melting fast.
Industrial, artisanal, different.
This was certainly some experience enjoying this gelato, but also watching how this cone was made beforehand. And eating gelato in Italy is always a complete and special experience. Behind me is Pizzeria Ristorante, Cucina Tipica Pasta Pub 1934. So I think this should be the whole name. And this will be our last stop in Lamezia. Let's get inside. That's it. I got seated in this pasta pub with no issues, without any reservation. And once I entered, I thought this was a small restaurant, but then you have stairs taking you downstairs, and then there's much bigger space. And this place really looks cool. I mean, this is the best word to describe it. They also have a DJ over there. There's a big screen. This is obviously some kind of fusion between traditional restaurant and obviously pasta pub pizzeria. I mean, they offer different kinds of food. I will check their online menu and start ordering. The place is getting quite busy, so I made a quick order. I ordered antipasto, another plate with local produce, and also a pasta afterwards. And then we will see if I can manage to eat some more food. They have quite nice selection in the menu, so maybe I will order something else as well. My antipasto plate is here. It smells delicious, but it has 3 of these polpette, how they call them here in Calabria, and they really smell delicious, look delicious. This one is stuffed with pork meat. This is a fried food goodiness. This polpetta is so juicy inside. This meat is so juicy and tasty, but then the skin perfectly crunchy. There's also kind of taste of cheese. I don't know if they added a little bit of pecorino or some other cheese, but this is absolutely delicious. Let's go with the second polpetta, and this one I think should be rice, maybe some cheese inside. Let's see. It's fresh, it's hot, it's crunchy, has beautiful taste. It doesn't have any cheese, I think it's only rice inside, and this reminds quite a lot on Roman supli, only no tomato sauce. The third one is a straight potato croquette, and it has this amazing looking skin. This is as perfect as a potato croquette can get. It's so fine, so tasty inside, but then this skin is so crunchy. This is incredible, but this is definitely one of the best potato croquettes that I ever tried. They also have on this plate the famous local pecorino cheese. It looks like even younger cheese, less aged. Let's see. I was right, this is a young cheese. It hasn't been aged that much, but it's so delicious. It has this beautiful texture, kind of gummy, but very easy to chew, very pleasant taste. Let's go with a slice of soppressata, cheese, and then this perfectly grilled zucchini. Let's go now with some sweet red onion from Tropea, and then this beautiful Calabrian prosciutto. The onion is absolutely delicious and tasty, has that sweet note, but also a little bit acidic, has also mild crunch to it as well, and then with this prosciutto, this is a perfect bite. This plate looked like a light variant of antipasti, but it really didn't disappoint. Everything was so fresh, so delicious, really top quality ingredients. Calabria is not only a home to a great food, but also to a very beautiful food. I mean, this pasta is a work of art. This is incredible, the design of this plate, how this looks. It smells quite fishy. This is pasta con bacala, or the cod fish pasta. It has some green zucchini on top as well. Nice and thin spaghetti. Let's go. This is an absolute pasta perfection. The smell of fish is there, but the taste not really. It's so mild, the cod has been dissolved by cooking, and the pasta itself, the spaghetti, are perfect. They're al dente, but also you can chew them quite easily. The spaghetti are so tasty, so delicious, nice and thin, and I think they absorbed all this sauce that was used to prepare this pasta, that I cannot describe how tasty and delicious this is. This is what I like to call happiness in every bite. The karaoke has just started, so that you know if you come here, there's also option you can sing karaoke, but also my dessert is here. I hope you can hear me now. And I got tiramisu. They make all of their desserts in-house. I know that tiramisu is not originally Calabrian dessert, but the package is. This traditional small jar is Calabrian, and also it's made here. Looks delicious. Let's see. Delicious tiramisu, nice and cool. Let me skip it. Between the bites, I got a handshake with the DJ. Karaoke has started, and there's no stopping to karaoke, obviously. It's quite delicious, nice and cool, not too sweet. That biscuit at the bottom, perfectly so. Amazing dessert. Behind me is our first stop in Pizzo, Ristoranino da Ciccio. Let's get inside and let's see what kind of food they have. So this is my first place in Pizzo, and since I arrived and came up the hill, because Pizzo is divided into that seaside area and then up the hill, I think this should be center of the town, but the whole town is beautiful. This is probably one of the most beautiful places that I've visited so far anywhere, and of course in Italy as well. I expect the food to be quite delicious as well, and I think that I came to the right place. Ristoranino da Ciccio, so a small restaurant owned by Ciccio, so I'm really counting on Ciccio and the food here, and they have quite interesting menu, and this is practically, as I can see, most of the foods quite traditional Calabrese, Calabrian foods. So I will go through the menu, see what I like, and then order some of these delicious food. Oh, bravo.
Ecco qua.
Oh, grazie. Wow. My starter is here, polpette in sugo, or the meatballs in tomato sauce. And even though this is called starter, I think this can feed a small army. They look quite delicious, they smell delicious, and I will start while they're hot. They do seem different than in other parts of Italy. They're quite large, there's less sauce, but let's see how they taste. Well, they definitely taste delicious. They're absolutely amazing. Very fine meat, very easy to chew, very soft. Then this tomato sauce is so sweet, mildly acidic, but mostly sweet. And I wish there was more of this sauce. I mean, both the meatball and the sauce, they're just amazing. I really want to get this sauce as much as possible on the meatball, because together with the sauce, this is unbeatable. And the waiter told me they are made by Nonna, so no mistake with these meatballs. This was such a delicious start for me in Pizzo and also for my early dinner. The meatballs were out of this world. Now I'm waiting for my first dish to arrive as well. Alla salute. My pasta has arrived, and this is pasta called filea. This is a typical pasta of Calabria, very traditional, and this one comes with a pork meat sauce, so filea con sugo di carne di maiale, and it really looks and smells incredible. This is a handmade in-house fresh pasta, and then it's combined with this delicious looking and smelling sauce. It's steaming hot, and I have to dig in right away. I have to add some grana padano cheese as well, but the pasta is really delicious, really tasty. Fresh pasta, quite thick, easy to chew. You don't have that al dente bite like with industrial pasta, completely different, but the sauce is beautiful. Nice chunks of pork, there's a bite to them, so you need to chew them. They're very tasty, and again, the sauce is impeccable. The pork meat breaks apart, and I don't want it to sound like a cliche, but this really gets better with each bite. This is just beautiful pasta, but it's also quite messy because of this sauce, and it really goes well with Grana Padano cheese. I think it even improved the taste once I added Grana Padano. Again, amazing dish. This was a proper Calabrian dinner, those polpette, out of this world pasta as well. The meat, the ingredients, the skill invested here are really outstanding. I really enjoyed it. And I will probably go and try to find a good tartufo, the famous tartufo of Pizzo, to enjoy the local ice cream as well. Alla salute. I didn't have to go far for my tartufo ice cream. Behind me is Gelateria Morino, and this is where I'm going to enjoy tartufo ice cream. Oh, bellissimo, bellissimo regalo. Okay, grazie. But before trying the famous tartufo, the owner also gave me a sample of gelato to try. He told me it's different than tartufo, the one that they sell just as the ice cream, as gelato, and I got nocciola, the hazelnut, chocolate, and zuppa inglese, or the English soup, how they call it. Let's try this English soup first. That really nice taste of candies that kind of revokes the childhood memories. Quite delicious ice cream. This is a very good quality ice cream. It's very dense, very thick, doesn't really melt that quickly. Let's try the chocolate now. Very strong taste of dark chocolate, really, really good gelato. Let's try this nocciola, the hazelnut, and let's get ready for tartufo. They have 8 different tartufo ice creams in their menu. Of course, there are different variants, and they also have the volcano one, which they set on flame, on fire. But I always like to try classic stuff, so I will go with a classic tartufo, and this one is made out of hazelnut and chocolate ice creams, and also in the middle it has liquid chocolate. Let's try it. Big chunk of tartufo, and of course there's mostly hazelnut ice cream, there's chocolate ice cream at the bottom, and we can see this kind of a drizzle of this liquid chocolate as well. It is very cold, it's colder than that ice cream that I ate, but also the texture is different. This one is kind of more gummy, it is kind of stretchy once you eat it. I mean, it's really interesting, quite sweet, but again, quite unique dessert. The center of tartufo is liquid, quite creamy, and I ate tartufo in Bologna, but this is quite different. Obviously, you have to try the foods at their origin, and this is an amazing, unique dessert. Created in this square right here in the 50s by mistake. A gelato master was experimenting or doing something else, but then in the end he ended up with this unique gelato with tartufo. And though it is a bit too sweet for my taste, there is something about it. It's so delicious that I just keep eating it. Great experience here in Pizzo. I was surprised by the beauty of this town. The location, the town, they're amazing, but also the food as well. Some great food and also great dessert, tartufo. And tomorrow is a new day, and we're gonna start from early in the morning, and we're gonna experience some more great local food. So this is it for this evening. Good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao. Buongiorno da Pizzo. It's early morning in Pizzo, and maybe we can start this day with a slice of pizza or maybe some other pastry. Let's check out this small bakery behind me. So this here is a micro bakery, but they actually have a larger bakery, which is also kind of a restaurant, and it's again a family-owned business. And Roberto, the baker here, he's a 3rd generation. He's the owner of this small shop, and he starts each morning with making plenty of delicious pastries. He's making bread, then afterwards he's gonna bake some fresh pizza as well. And here on the wall is the picture of his grandfather who started this business. And also many locals come here straight in the morning to get their breakfast or bread. Even the ex-worker, the old baker here, he came to visit. So this is a typical local bakery here where everyone knows everyone and everyone drops here in the morning for their fresh and tasty bite. This bread here that he was making and then baking is almost ready, and I can't wait to get a loaf of this bread, and Roberto will make a sandwich for me. Freshly baked and steaming hot bread, then some extra virgin olive oil, then some oregano, and then this delicious looking prosciutto crudo, then a huge bowl of mozzarella cheese, some nice and thick slices. That mozzarella looks really good. And this should be it. Panino is ready.
Simple things always the best.
Roberto told me that simplicity is always the best, and he made this sandwich for me from just baked bread, completely fresh, and he used prosciutto crudo and this beautiful looking huge bowl of mozzarella he was cutting, putting this mozzarella cheese inside. This smells really delicious. Let's go. The bread is simply said incredible. Nice, airy, fluffy inside, and then the crust is so crunchy. I mean, it's so easy to eat, it's so easy to chew. Then this prosciutto is also very good quality, almost melts in your mouth. Then this mozzarella as well. Couple of very good ingredients and some perfect local bread from Pizzo. Traditionally made and freshly baked bread. I mean, you cannot beat this in the morning for sure. Then this beautiful prosciutto and mozzarella, he was right. It's simple, but when you have this good bread, couple of ingredients make incredible sandwich.
I do like this, and like la pala romana.
Okay.
And I cook it twice. First with just the tomatoes, and then I add the other ingredients. With the Neapolitan style, all the ingredients together.
Okay. Roberto is extremely busy. He's running back and forth from that baking area to the customer area, and he manages to do all. He manages to bake bread, to bake pizzas, to serve the customers, and this is a one-man army. Anyway, Roberto is making two types of pizza. One is a Roman pizza in pala, the long one, which gets baked first once and then the second time with ingredients on. And he's also gonna make Neapolitan style pizza just for me.
And the mozzarella I prefer to cut with my hands because
Standard procedure: tomato sauce, then some fresh basil, then this beautiful mozzarella cheese. He's gonna stretch this pizza a little bit more and off it goes into the oven. The Roman pizza is halfway ready. He's gonna add some mozzarella cheese on top. But then also Neapolitan pizza is now freshly baked. It looks and it smells delicious.
questa è di mare. And that's your
So this Neapolitan pizza was actually made for me. This was Roberto's surprise, and it looks and it smells delicious. Has this nice puff on the outside, quite thin dough, and then it's topped with mozzarella, tomato sauce, and some basil. This is a proper looking margherita. Let's try it. So for a genuine Neapolitan pizza, you need to have wood-fired oven or gas-fired oven, but this was baked in electric oven, and nonetheless, the dough is still great. The pizza is delicious. He was using integral flour for this pizza, so this is his own touch, a little bit different, but the ingredients are top quality. Very tasty tomato sauce, and of course that first-class mozzarella that he used for panino that I just previously had. Roberto really knows what he's doing, and I'm falling in love with this dough. It's so tasty. It is different than, of course, genuine Neapolitan pizza. This is his style, but it's really amazing and really delicious.
Grazie.
Just standing in that bakery was an amazing experience. I mean, full of laughter and jokes when the locals come for their pastry and bread. Anyway, I need to use up some calories and get ready for lunch, and I already have a spot in mind. We are at our last stop in Pizzo, Ristorante La Lampara. This place specializes in fish and seafood, but they also have some other local food as well. Let's get inside. So I got seated at La Lampara, and this place specializes in fish and seafood. There is always a catch of the day, but there is also a menu which is not too big, which is always a good sign, with different fish-based pasta or just grilled or fried seafood. This place is called La Lampara, which means the lamp. And this is not just any ordinary lamp, this is the fishing lamp that was traditionally used before on fishing boats to catch the fish at night. And the whole place looks really beautiful. There are old fisherman photos everywhere, and this place is honoring the local fishermen, I think, in the best possible way. I ordered my first and second dish, and soon enough I'll be able to enjoy some delicious food here.
Paccheri con ragù di pesce spada.
Oh, grazie mille.
Buona cena.
Grazie. My first plate arrived, and these are paccheri al ragù di pesce spada, or paccheri in a swordfish sauce. Paccheri are these huge pasta, hollow, quite tasty, delicious, and then here they're made with a swordfish sauce. I'm absolutely blown away how good this pasta plate looks. Let's start right away. Pasta has that beautiful al dente bite. This is not made to cater to tourists. This is made for pure Italian enjoyment. But then it really goes good with fish bits inside. There is a mild fishy taste, not too strong. Some parsley on top. This is absolutely beautiful pasta. Within this sauce there are also some very nice looking chunks of swordfish, so let's go with one. These are some impeccable skills by the chef. Not only that this pasta is perfectly al dente, has that beautiful bite, but also the cod is perfectly cooked. It doesn't fall apart, it has beautiful bite as well. It's just unbelievably good. The sauce, the pasta, the fish inside, this is a pure poetry. Let's do a scarpetta. I had to help him a bit with plate cleaning.
Misto di pesce con pesce spada, tonno, calamari e gamberoni.
Oh, grazie. My second plate arrived, and this is grigliata mista, or the mixed grill. And this is some amazing looking and smelling seafood mixed grill. And I got tuna steak, I got grilled swordfish steak, I also got some grilled calamari, and these two beautiful looking huge prawns. I will have to start right away. Let's start with the swordfish first. It has these beautiful grill marks on it. Looks and smells delicious. Swordfish is perfectly grilled. It's very juicy, doesn't have too strong taste. This is, of course, after all, swordfish, but very delicious, very tasty bite. Next fish from this plate has to be tuna, again perfectly grilled on the outside, and then on purpose they left it to be a little bit pink on the inside to give that additional juiciness. When you start eating this tuna steak, there's this perfect bite on the outside, but then this middle section, it just breaks, it just dissolves inside your mouth. This is, I think, the best tuna steak that I ever tried. This is something out of this world. Pizzo has a long tradition of catching tuna, which is obviously followed by a long tradition of grilling tuna. This is just amazing. Let's go with grilled calamari next. I had no doubt in my mind that calamari are going to be perfect as well. Nice, juicy, tasty, very easy to chew, obviously quite fresh as well. Last but not least, these beautiful looking huge prawns, and this is always a messy business cleaning them, but let's get down with it. But let's try and get this head juice first. I'm not sure if I managed, but I will manage with this. Cleaning a prawn is always a messy business, but once you get to this beautiful clean chunk of meat, then you know it's worth it. Has that beautiful sweet taste, nice, chunky and meaty prawn. I went fast forward with the second prawn, and as everything else on this plate, it was just perfectly grilled and perfectly delicious. Fantastic pasta and grilled seafood here at La Lampara, and the whole experience in Pizzo was nothing short of great. Great food, great people again, and really some amazing views once you climb these hills of Pizzo. Behind me is Pizzeria da Ribaudo, and this is by some opinion maybe the best pizzeria in the town. Let's get inside and let's check them out. The Ribaudo is quite modern looking, but also quite a beautiful looking restaurant once you get inside. And I also got a chance to check out their pizza section before they started work, and it looks impeccable. It's clean like it's a pharmacy. This is a top level professionalism. The dough looks amazing as well. This pizza dough is ready for some baking. Ingredients, everything is stored properly, so I can't wait to try their pizzas. This is quite early now, but already people started coming, and some of the pizzas are already baked and sent to the customers. Anyway, let's check the menu and let's order some delicious pizzas. They have quite interesting menu, and this is a contemporary Neapolitan style pizzeria. That's why they have these pizzas that look a bit extravagant, and most of the ingredients are local, which is a very good thing. And also they have some classic pizzas. They're using gas-operated oven, which for a good pizza master, the result can be almost the same like in a wood-fired oven. So until the ordered pizzas are ready, alla salute. The Pizziolo is making the pizzas that we ordered, Calabria and classic margherita. And he's opening the dough, classic Neapolitan style, then he's shaking it off the excess flour. Then he's topping both pizzas. Margherita e Calabria, sì?
Yeah. Margherita
Per noi.
Yes. This is provola cheese.
Affumicata, smoked.
Smoked, yeah. Pancetta smoked.
Looks beautiful. And off they go in the oven.
Olive oil.
Bravo. They needed less than 90 seconds to get ready, and there are some charts on this first pizza because the crust was so puffed. This pizza is called Calabria, and it has all the favorite local ingredients. It has Calabrian pancetta, it has Calabrian provola cheese, smoked one, some roast potatoes, and it has pepperoncino sauce instead of classic tomato sauce. The pizza looks and smells amazing, and I need to start right away. There's a lot of puff, a lot of air in the crust. There's also a little bit of crunch, not too much, but the crust, the cornicione, is completely full with air. And then the pizza is nice and thin. It's perfectly baked at the bottom. These ingredients just look insane. Also, as you can see, it holds well once folded, and this should be a great pizza. Let's see. This is a genuine Neapolitan pizza, there's no doubt about it. The dough is nice and soft, but also has that pleasant chewiness. But what shines about this pizza are the ingredients. So this pancetta is out of this world. It's so delicious, nice and crispy. Then there are these roast potatoes that give a different contrast to it. Then of course smoked provola cheese, and then this pepperoncino sauce, the roast pepper sauce, which gives that amazing flavor. Very delicious and very tasty pizza. That was a great experience with Pizza Calabria, but let's also try the classic margherita. And what I noticed is that they added the basil afterwards at the end. Anyway, the dough looks amazing here, nice, thin and airy. Let's see how it tastes. If you want to know how good some pizzeria is, you order margherita. This is always the benchmark, and this one is an amazing margherita pizza. So again, the dough is excellent, but then San Marzano tomato and also some very good mozzarella used on this pizza. Also a nice touch that they added basil afterwards, but again, very delicious and really one of the best margaritas. This was a great pizza experience in Tropea, Neapolitan pizza, but done in a local way. Very tasty, very delicious, very interesting and inventive as well. And probably this will be it for this evening. I'm completely full. And then tomorrow is a new day as always, and we're gonna explore some more local Tropea food. Alla salute. Good morning from Tropea. It's early in the morning here, and behind me is Bar Pasticceria Peccati di Gola, and this will be our first stop of the day. Let's get inside. Oh,
Prego,
grazie.
prego.
I was just thinking what kind of pastries should I get, because the choice is quite big and they all look delicious. And I also got a little present, this dolce, this sweet pastry. Let's try. The pastry is really fresh, really delicious. So it has whipped cream on top, then it has some custard at the bottom. Very light and very delicious bite. Sì.
Va bene?
Questo con pistacchio?
Benissimo.
I came here for the typical cornetto italiano to get the original breakfast, but when I saw all these delicious pastries in the display, I decided to go. I think they're both choux-based pastry, and one is with a crema pasticcera with a custard, and the other one I think is with a similar custard, only with a pistachio flavor, and there are also some pistachios on top of this cake. This looks so delicious. The bakery is quite local. All the locals come here for breakfast. Mostly sweet. There are a couple of savory pastries, and I hope I made a great choice. Let's start. The pastry looks quite nice and fresh, and it is light, but then this custard cream inside is quite heavy. Let's go with the first bite. This was a great choice. The choux pastry is absolutely fresh, nice and light, and then this cool and delicious custard cream inside, and it's not too sweet. So I think this was really a great choice for the early morning. This here is a similar pastry, but this one has the custard cream with pistachio flavor and also these gorgeous looking roast pistachios on the side. And as you can see, this is even more stuffed with this delicious cream. Again, very fresh choux pastry, nice, cool, delicious, a little bit minty. Cream also has that flavor of pistachio, but let's get a bite with these roasted pistachios. Of course, when you try it with these roast pistachios, this just climbs to the next level. I also got a slice of Italian crostata to try, but I suppose that here in Calabria this has its own touch as well. This pastry is also absolutely fresh and it just crumbles inside your mouth, and then it has this beautiful orange marmalade. And again, this is another very sweet, very delicious bite early in the morning in Tropea. Behind me is a place called Nduja, and this will be my lunch destination for today. Let's get inside. The first impressions once I entered this small place are quite good because they have some pancetta and guanciale hanging from the ceiling. This is definitely a place to be. So after that sweet and delicious breakfast this morning, I had a day trip to Scilla. This is another beautiful town south from here. And over there I attempted to have a lunch which didn't go that successfully, so I'm starving. And once I was back in Tropea for my late lunch, I wanted to go to a place where I know I would get the best possible food for my money. And I think Nduja is such a place. And all those cured meats at the entrance are quite reassuring, but then once you go to the back, there's that display full of some more cured meats, of the local Nduja sausage, of many different types of pancetta and bacon. And I already made my order. They have quite a big menu full of different panini, different sandwiches. They also have salads, they also have starters. I got half and half Nduja sandwich and Calabria sandwich, stuffed with some very delicious ingredients, and I also ordered a plate with 4 different cheese. All my food arrived practically at once, and this cheese platter looks incredible, but the smells are even better. There's a strong smell of different cheese here. There's some fruit, there's tomato, there's also mozzarella cheese in between these slices of tomato, and there's also traditional Nduja, the most famous sausage of Calabria, served in this special way in a small ceramic dish, which is heated up with a candle from beneath. So Nduja will be nice and warm, and I will have to use this bruschetta style dry bread for it to enjoy. I will start first with Nduja for sure. Let's go with this crunchy bite. This is some very tasty and very spicy Nduja, and nice and warm from that candle. Perfect way to start this meal. At first I thought that this was mozzarella, but actually this is burrata stracciatella from Puglia, and it's quite creamy. Let's go with it with this slice of tomato. A perfectly refreshing bite after that very spicy Nduja. This cheese is obviously infused by some peperoncino, by some spicy pepper. Let's see. This is a truly beautiful cheese, and this is also pecorino from Calabria. This one is aged a little bit more, and then it's also a little bit spicy from this peperoncino. Very delicious, very creamy, very tasty cheese. Let's go with the second type of pecorino, and this one is without chili flakes. Amazing pecorino cheese, even creamier than the one with the flakes. I think this one is a little bit younger, but still has that nice and strong taste. It has been aged for some time, but again, beautiful, very creamy, very tasty. This is not just some sauce, this is cipolla rossa di Tropea. This is the sweet red onion of Tropea, their trademark. And I will try it now with this spicy pecorino. The taste is sweet, it really enriches the cheese. Let's go with this one. Cipolla rossa is really amazing, gives that unique taste to any food you pair it with, and even this cheese. Let's jump to the panini, to the sandwiches, nicely toasted. And then inside this one is Nduja sausage, slice of tomato, and then this nicely grilled slice of pancetta. Let's go. The bread is so good. Once you bite into it, it's quite airy, quite soft, nice and crunchy on the outside, of course. Spicy Nduja, then this perfect crumbly grilled pancetta and some ripe tomatoes. You cannot beat this. So it's definitely time for some gelato now. Down this road is Gelateria Donna Maria. Grazie. Beautiful looking Gelateria Donna Maria with some beautiful looking gelato artisanale with some beautiful looking artisanal ice cream. And I got two flavors. One is Francesco and the other one is pistachio. Let's start. Beautiful gelato, extremely creamy. There are also bits of pistachio inside the gelato, but really delicious, not too sweet. Has also that flavor of roast pistachio. Amazing. Quite cold when you hold it and it is not melting quickly, which is a very good sign. But let's try this Francesco now. Different flavors, very tasty. So this is hazelnut cream with gianduja and also toasted almonds. And this is a mix of these beautiful flavors and very, very delicious gelato. This is a top quality artisanal gelato. Both flavors are amazing, but this Francesco is quite special. This was a top quality gelato, and this is definitely one of the best gelato originale that I tried, and that Francesco was especially tasty. I think this will be it for this evening, but tomorrow we will have at least one more place to visit and to enjoy some more Calabrian food. So, see you tomorrow. Okay, so behind me is lovely Tropea, and I'm climbing the mountain slowly but effectively. I'm on my way to my early dinner at, I hope, finally a true local restaurant. I got sick and tired of over-touristic town center of Tropea because it's really hard to find a good place where to eat, and I already managed to find a couple of them, but I also wanted to enjoy some proper restaurant food. And the best place that I could find is a restaurant which is around 4 kilometers from the town center. Now, this is Tropea and public transport is practically non-existent. So I decided to walk. I think it will take me around 1 hour. So there's plenty more to cover. Let's continue to my lunch destination. But at least there is something free of charge in Tropea, and these are these breathtaking views. You don't need to pay coperto for these views. That's a good thing. I am, so to say, almost there, and there are now some signs of civilization here. There are houses, there are bigger roads, so let's keep going. There's a good thing waiting for you once you climb the mountain more than halfway, and here you can do some exercise. This is quite thoughtful. To me, they look quite unused, these machines here. But again, you climb the mountain, you do some exercise, and then you continue climbing towards the restaurant. Was I happy to see all these cars here and lights above this restaurant. I was thinking to myself, what if the restaurant is closed? Because the Google Maps here are not 100% precise. But anyway, it's open and here I am, roughly 1 hour after a long walk up the mountain above Tropea. This is my dinner destination and let's get inside. So I got seated and the place looks modern inside, so this is not a wooden hut on top of the mountain. It's a modern looking restaurant, but it is on top of the mountain, I can vouch that. And the first impressions are quite good because they have traditional wood-fired oven. They have quite skilled pizzaiolo who is dishing out all these incredible looking Neapolitan style pizzas. They are huge. They have this quite puff crust. The toppings look delicious. Everything smells delicious. His dough looks quite soft that he's using to make these pizzas. And I hope this is going to be one great food adventure. Let me check their digital menu and then I will order something. Their menu is relatively extensive. They of course have antipasti, primi, secondi. They also have a nice choice of pizzas, and the price of pizza here is quite good. Most of them are 10 euros and they are quite big, so this is a huge difference in price comparing to the town center of Tropea. They are quite cheaper here. But also I need to regain some of that protein lost by climbing the hill. So I went with the meat first. I ordered carne grigliato misto, or the mixed grilled meat plate, and I also ordered the typical local salad. Later on I will follow up with pizza because I definitely need to try pizza here. My food arrived and I'm the happiest person on the mountain at the moment, and this is what I came for. For sure I'm not going to eat panino on top of the mountain. I came here for this delicious meat. This meat looks delicious, smells even better. This is a perfectly grilled, locally sourced meat. We have Calabrian sausage, we have Calabrian bacon, we have some pork cutlets. Everything looks incredible. I also got insalata Tropea, the local salad, tomato, onion and capers. And let's start. The smells coming from this plate are insane. And I'm hungry as a Calabrian wolf, and I will start with this sausage. The sausage is practically pure meat and maybe some spices. It's mildly salty and you cannot see any fatty parts, anything else. It's very, very juicy. It's very, very tasty. Let's follow with a second bite. This is quite similar to the homemade grilled sausages that you would eat in Balkans, only it's more lean. No fat here, very juicy, extremely delicious. Let's go with this salad and then jump to the next meat. Quite fresh, tasty onion and juicy tomato, and then this oregano on top is quite nice touch. Great salad. The locals have arrived here, so the place instantly became much more alive. This is the first good news, and the second good news is that my next bite is this delicious, juicy looking grilled bacon. Nice and juicy, has very strong smoky taste from that grill, but I had to add some salt and also added some pepper for more taste. Let's see now. Nice and juicy, very meaty, perfectly grilled, and a bit of salt and pepper. This was a missing component and now it's a perfect bite. This is a classic pork cutlet which I haven't seen in a long time. This is grilled together with a bone. It has these perfect grill marks. Let's see. That's that traditional pork cutlet taste. It was perfectly grilled, has very strong smoky taste, and again, top level juiciness. All the meats here were so juicy, and with a little bit of salt and pepper also very, very tasty. My pizza margherita is here, and I was just watching the pizza chef doing these pizzas, putting 4 pizzas one after the other in the oven, and they're really huge, and of course this is just a routine for him, and it was joy watching them how they are getting puffed inside the oven. The temperature is very, very high. The pizzas smelled amazing, and so is my margherita as well. It looks amazing, it smells amazing, and the chef told me that if pizza is good, then this is his fault. And then if pizza is not good, then it's the oven's fault. Anyway, let's start eating this pizza before it gets cold. The cornicione, the crust is quite puffed, it's full of air. There's also a lot of char because the temperature in that oven is quite high. Before, when pizza chef was showing me around the oven, the temperature was around 450 degrees Celsius. So this pizza bakes really quick, but it's also quite soft. The dough is quite soft, it's quite airy, puffs up quickly, and that's why we have this char. Chef also started cutting for me cornicione, the crust, and this is absolutely perfect. It's full of air. Once you press it, it doesn't squish, it stays full of air as well. The crust has plenty of air, but it also has some crunch. And let's try the pizza. Let's see how it tastes. The pizza is extremely thin. It's perfectly baked on the bottom. And also it has that different texture than what usually you have with Neapolitan pizzas. The dough is so light. I suppose that dough rested for probably 2 days, probably more. I'm not sure, but the dough is extremely light. Even the bottom has some mild crunchiness. This is quite interesting, very delicious pizza. As you can see, it has a perfect flop. Once I fold it, it stays this way. Again, I'm really amazed how light the slice is once you take it. Then tomato sauce is almost not noticeable. It blends with the cheese. The cheese used is genuine fior di latte mozzarella, the real one, no mix of cheese. This is what chef told me. And again, very delicious, very light, beautiful pizza. I know that these chars on the crust, maybe they don't look nice, but believe me when I tell you, this is a perfect dough, perfectly baked pizza. And what I like is that it doesn't have that excessive chewiness like some Neapolitan pizzas, and then you get a little bit annoyed by how much you need to chew them. No, this is extremely light, airy, delicious, amazing pizza. No bells or whistles or some special rituals, just a single pizza maestro in his white uniform, white baseball hat, and his wood-fired oven, and he's creating these incredible pizzas. This is one of a kind. Let me show you why Italy is legendary. Behind me is a Quattro coffee bakery cafe, and this is Sunday morning in Lamezia Terme, actually near the Lamezia Terme Centrale, the central train station. I don't have train before 4 p.m. to Pizzo. This is the problem. It's Sunday, but this is Sunday morning in Lamezia in Calabria. And look how happy and merry this day starts here. Anyway, I will go inside. This is kind of fancy looking cafe, but this was the closest to the train station, and they offer some nice brunch and breakfast. A little bit modern, not so traditional, but let's get inside and let's enjoy some breakfast. What better way to start your morning than with some great music and also some delicious looking brunch. And I got here some scrambled eggs with fried bacon, some toast, a little bit of salad, and then I also got a yogurt and fruit bowl, accompanied with a glass of orange juice. Let's begin. Got a slice of toast, some egg, and of course bacon. Delicious bacon, it falls apart, and then nice and fluffy eggs. The toast is here just to accompany these two great ingredients. Calabria is officially the poorest region in Italy, but Dolce Vita is quite alive here, alive and kicking. Let's add some more healthy note to this breakfast with this yogurt and fruit bowl. A bowl of freshness goes quite well after eggs and bacon. An amazing breakfast, amazing start of the day in this quite unique cafe. I enjoyed all the food, got quite refreshed, and now I have more energy to wait for my train. Cheers! But let's check out a couple of more places from the day before. So here we are in the city called Lamezia Terme in the famous region of Calabria. And I'm off to my first place. I'm quite hungry. And also I arrived here in maybe not so best hours for eating out because it's already after 3 p.m. And most of restaurants here, they work until 3, then they close and then they open again around 7 p.m. So we're gonna visit a local bakery which offers different interesting local food. And then for dinner, we're gonna go to a proper restaurant to enjoy some more substantial local food. Let's go. Behind me is our first stop in Lamezia Terme, Il Fornaio Angotti. Let's get inside. Buongiorno. So this is pretty much a local bakery and it's full of sweet and savory stuff as well. They have plenty of different breads. They can make a fresh panino for you. They have all these traditional biscotti, the biscuits, the local cakes and desserts. The savory offer has been mostly eaten during the lunchtime, and since I was late for lunch, I decided to go for a freshly made local panino. And this is a typical panino calabrese, the typical sandwich of Calabria. It will be made of soppressata, the hard-pressed local spicy salami, some provola cheese and pomodori secchi, the sun-dried tomatoes. This girl is slicing now everything, making it fresh, and then this panino will hit the oven so the bread becomes nice and warm. This is a fantastic looking homemade style bread roll. The dough looks absolutely fabulous. And then inside we have this provola half melted. We have soppressata, also the sun-dried tomatoes. Let's start. The bread is quite thick, nice and tasty, but then I think the most flavor comes from the sun-dried tomato. Quite savory, very delicious. Then provola cheese has that mild taste, and then soppressata, it's not spicy, at least I didn't feel any spiciness, and of course it has that beautiful recognizable taste. I have to be honest, the panino is a little bit dry, but still this is a nice and tasty local bite. Some very good news for me. There are a couple of fresh pizza just straight out of the oven now in the display, and there's also a local focaccia, and this focaccia is a little bit different than anything that I've seen so far. This one is kind of closed, but then in the middle it has boiled eggs, some salami, some cheese, and the pizza that I've chosen is again with soppressata, with the same salami that I had sandwich with, and now that is baked on this pizza the smell is even better. Freshly baked, tomato sauce, then this salami, then some cheese and olives. The pastry is extremely thin. You can see that it's quite crunchy at the bottom. Then it has these air bubbles here. Again, very thin, stuffed with these delicious ingredients. Pastry is amazing, very thin, very crunchy. The pizza is spicy because they added pepperoncino, they added a spicy pepper on top as well. But again, delicious salami, cheese, tomato sauce, olive, everything is perfect. That pizza was really something. Let's go with this tasty looking focaccia. This first bite of focaccia was just as I expected, nice and tasty. This pastry is fluffy, soft, airy, and then it has this crust on top, a little bit at the bottom, and then these delicious boiled eggs and cheese, and I think a bit of salami inside as well. After all these breads and pastries, I need something fizzy to help my digestion, and luckily Calabria has its own authentic original soft drink, and this is Brasilena. This is a fizzy soft drink made out of coffee. That's why the name Brasilena, obviously, because of the Brazilian coffee. And it only exists here in Calabria. This is their original soft drink. Let's see. Wow. It has a genuine coffee taste. It's like you're drinking fizzy coffee, nice, a little bit sweet and quite refreshing. Of course, we had to finish this meal with something sweet, and I got a couple of baci di dama or ladies' kiss biscuits, and also I got this one, which is quite traditional. I think this one is made of almond paste and some coconut. We will see once I try it if it's what I think it is. Then we have one of these baci with white chocolate, and the other is with marmellata with the orange marmalade, and then half topped in chocolate as well. So let's try them. Nice and heavy. Let's start with the white chocolate one. This bacio is way better than I expected. It crumbles, it's so delicious, nice, cool, has this very delicious cream in the middle, and then this white chocolate is absolutely perfect. Let's see if the second bacio can match the first one. It definitely can. Again, beautiful crumbly pastry. Then this marmalade is just out of this world. Nice and very tasty chocolate. Perfect. Let's go with the last one. This is a delicious traditional almond paste cookie. It's just perfectly caramelized on the outside, but then inside is this almond paste, perfectly chewy, so delicious, and then of course has this beautiful cherry on top as well. Very delicious start here in Lamezia Terme. I would definitely need now to run circles around the city to use up all these calories, which probably I would need to do until the dinner time, and then I will see you again at our next place. See you then. We are at a restaurant called Donna Deda, and this is our second place today in Lamezia. And we came here to enjoy some more great local food. Let's get inside. The restaurant is quite beautiful once you get inside, which you would never guess from looking the restaurant from the outside. But anyway, inside the restaurant is quite spacious. There's this simplicity, but yet it's quite beautiful. There are these nice lamps everywhere, and also there's some nice music in the background. They have quite interesting menu. It's full of local food. They have antipasti, the appetizers, they have side dishes, they have primi piatti, the first dishes, they have the main dishes, which can be meat, pasta, or even fish, and they have good selection of pizza as well. I think I will skip pizza this evening because of all that bread and pastry at the bakery, but I will order some very interesting local food, and soon enough I will enjoy them. Alla salute! My patate casarecce con salsiccia arrived first, and this is a chips style fried potato with some local sausage, and this is kind of a snack. So it's still hot, it smells delicious, nice and crunchy. Let's try it. Salsiccia, the sausage, is nice and juicy. It's not spicy at all. There's a lot of paprika in it, it's obvious. But for me, even the better impression left this potato. They are so nice, crunchy, homemade chips, or as British people would say, crisps style potato. The saltiness is just right. This potato is so delicious. It's a perfect, simple bite. It is a little bit greasy. It's not the healthiest food in the world, but it is one of the best simple foods. Buon proseguimento. Grazie. This plate is called Rustico in the menu, and it has many of the very interesting local appetizers, and it has Nduja, the famous local Nduja spicy sausage, which is spread on this grilled bread. Then it has soppressata, the salami that I ate today. It has a local prosciutto, then local pancetta, also pecorino cheese. So we have some more fried potatoes. We have grilled eggplant and these black dried olives. Let's start with Nduja first. Probably the most famous ingredient of Calabria, Nduja, the spicy spreadable sausage. Very strong savory taste of Nduja, also a little bit acidic, but actually quite spicy, and you don't feel it with the first bite immediately, but a couple of seconds after it starts to build up that spiciness. Let's do a mini sandwich with Nduja, grilled eggplant and pecorino. Of course, it's less spicy now with some additional ingredients, but this pecorino is just beautiful. This is quite young, quite mild cheese. I never tried pecorino this mild with taste, and obviously this is another great local produce. Let's go with the black olive next. Quite salty, but also quite delicious. And there's also some juiciness left in it because it's not completely dry. There's some meat around this pit as well. Let's go next with some of the fried foods. This here is seriously delicious. It's nice, fresh and hot, and then it's so fine inside. There's this rice mixed with some cheese, but the outside is so crunchy. Nice and thin skin, but very, very crunchy. Absolutely beautiful. Now it's time to try the Calabrian prosciutto. A beautiful prosciutto. It has quite strong flavor. It's also a bit salty, which is normal for any cured meat, but it's really silky, easy to eat, easy to chew, and very, very delicious. And the moment I was waiting for, to try the local pancetta. It also has a little bit of pepper in the middle, so I suppose it should have some spicy note as well. Great taste and texture of that pancetta, but also quite spicy because of that paprika in the middle. But let's finish everything with this beautiful pecorino. I think this was the best impression. This and Nduja, but also everything else was quite great, quite tasty. This ends my great Calabrian adventure. I visited several places on the west coast of Calabria, enjoyed some amazing food, met some great people, enjoyed some great hospitality as well. Especially Lamezia Terme and Pizzo made a great impression on me with the food, with hospitality, with everything else. When it comes to Tropea, the situation is a little bit different. Tropea is just over touristic, and in my opinion, most of restaurants in the town are tourist traps. All the offer, all the food is overpriced, and I don't see the quality that can match that price. So it was really hard to find good places where to eat. You really need to handpick places in Tropea where you can get good value for your money. So the bakeries, that was not a problem. That pizzeria was also quite good, and I really like, maybe my favorite place over there is Nduja, serving that cheese and Nduja salami sandwiches. Very nice people and excellent food and good prices. But then this mini adventure bringing me to this restaurant here was really a pinnacle, a highlight of my Tropea visit. This restaurant is a great place. Those meats were amazing, so juicy, simply prepared, what I liked. They were just grilled, no spices added, nothing. If you want, you add salt and pepper to improve the taste, and that's it. Great meat, great food, and then one of the best Neapolitan pizzas that I ever tried. This guy is a true master. He knows his pizza, he knows his dough, he knows his wood-fired oven, and this was a great food experience. With this, I end this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next time, all the best.